D, wait for it, delightful.
Check out the name tag. You're in my world now, Grandma.
What's up, nerds? So I just finished the latest episode of Stargirl. And let me just say, this was a good episode. I liked it. I have to say, when it comes to CW shows, Superman and Lois, which I just did my review for the season finale up here. You can check that out in the iCard section. But Stargirl and that show are the two best shows that the CW has. And I don't know what they're doing with those other shows because they're just so either mediocre or just bad. I'm talking about Batwoman. It sucks. But this show so far, season 1 was good. This episode was good. The first episode was it was good, but it was setting up better stuff. So this episode was very good. We saw a death, and I saw a headline, and I didn't read it because I didn't want any spoilers because I wanted to go into it fresh so I could do this kind of thing. Although I do love spoilers, but then that the death happened, and I was all like, "This is nonsense." I'm like, "This is the character that died," and it's like how this affects this character, and I'm like, "Oh gosh, okay, I guess so." I didn't even know. I'm like, I totally kind of forgot who this character was until, anyways, I'll get into that when I break this episode down. But yeah, like this was a good episode, and I'll get into the parts that I really, really liked a lot and what that means, I think. So it starts off with Cindy Bowman's stepmom and everything. She's pouring wine. She's dancing around the house to Girls Just Want to Have Fun. She's breaking plates. And by plates, I mean two plates. Like, this is her. Like, she's all like, I'm dancing around, breaking a plate. Like, ooh, is this naughty? I'm going to break this plate. I'm going to flip this plate over with these crackers on it. And then she knocks over this vase of flowers. Naughty girl. So naughty, that naughty housewife. That naughty Stepford wife and everything. She was totally groomed, and I feel bad for her. But this is I'm telling you right now, I could tear a kitchen up. Yeah. So then she goes to leave. She grabs her suitcase, but Cindy is at the front door, and it's like, "Hey, Cindy," and everything. She's like, "Hi, Mom," and she's bummed and everything. She thought she was gonna get her life back. She pulls out the Eclipso diamond. She's like, "Diamonds are a girl's best friend," and everything. So we go from 6 days ago in the past. And Jenny is getting kicked out of her orphanage home, her kids' home or whatnot. And she gives her this Altoids box. So I was like, "Oh, that's nice," and everything. And then she's like, "Can I give you a word of advice? Stop trying to be so perfect and everything, because it's really freaking annoying." And I was like, "Oh, lay hands on that bitch. Call me annoying again. See what happens." Closes the door and everything because she's all like, you're 18 now or something like that, and you're 16. You know what the deal was. And I'm like, who throws a 16-year-old out of their house? I'm like, all right, whatever. Okay, I got it. You weren't getting the paycheck anymore, honey, from the state. So you're all like, get rid of her. So she sits down, she opens it up, and there's two things. There's a card that says Todd, which is her brother. And then there's this ring. And it starts glowing, and it lands on her finger, and then it starts pulling her towards the lantern, because then we get to present day where she's in the Bowman house. Is it the Bowman house? I don't remember what their last names are, but she's in Stargirl's house, and she sends the thingy away, the staff, and then she's sitting there talking, and she's like, "Who are you?" And she's all like, "I'm Jenny. Green Lantern was my dad. Alan Scott was my dad." Gosh, I cannot remember names right now. I'm like, it's like, and she's like, "Who's Alan Scott?" And he's like, "That was the Green Lantern and everything." And she's like, "He's my dad." And she's like, you have Star-Lord's staff. Are you Star-Lord's kid? And she's like, "No, I'm not his kid. I like her shirt with the blueberries." And I just noted that. So then she's all like, "This ring brought me here towards it." So then she's like, "You don't have to let me stay here." And she's like, "No, it's fine. What's her face wanted to give it up and everything." So she sees the pictures of the family, and she's all like, "Oh, I wish I had that," and everything. And then she looks at the picture of her and her brother. And it'll be interesting to see who her brother ends up being if he shows up. I don't know this character from the comic books, if it is in the comic books. So I have no idea who Todd is. I'm not going to sit here. I hate those people that they like, like a Blue Beetle story comes out of they cast Blue Beetle, and now all of a sudden they're Blue Beetle experts because they know Google. And I'm like, get out of here. I read the Wikipedia too. Okay, fool. So then she has her brother and she's like, reminiscing, and the lantern's all good. So she wakes up and everything, and he's talking to her, and she's like, how can we trust her? We don't know who she is. And she broke into the house and everything. And I just want to say right now, this whole time that she brings this argument up that she broke into their house, I am 100% on her side. She did break into their house. I'll talk about this in a little bit because she brings it up again. And so she wakes up in the morning, and this girl has fixed the table somehow and everything. And she's made pancakes. And she's like, yeah, every Sunday we had pancakes at the orphanage and everything. And she's like, oh, these pancakes are so good. They're better than dad's. And she's like, and the mom's like, everybody's pancakes are better than dad's. So she's like, I'm sorry, I'm sitting in your spot. And she's like, it's okay. I'm not hungry anyways. So she gets to summer school. Oh yeah, he tells Jenny that they're gonna go to the shop so they can figure out the lantern, and Breck needs to go to summer school. She's sitting there with the Yolanda. She's happy Yolanda's there, but her parents made her go there because to keep her out of trouble, not take any more titty pics. So then we get the teacher there. I like this teacher. I like him. He made me smile. And they're sitting there, and he's calling it out, and the fiddler's kid's there, and he's upset. Understandably, his parents were crazy evil. So they're sitting there talking, and this kid, he goes out to give more food to Solomon Grundy, picks up the chicken buckets, gets a call, and he starts, driving, but he hears Solomon Grundy in the woods. And I thought I was going to be able to see him and everything. Like, I'm all like, is that him right there by that tree? But I was like, I can't see anything. It's fine. It doesn't even matter. But he was like staring at him like a stalker. So we go back to the gym, and this guy, Ziggy, he's helping with the flamethrower on the thing, which was actually pretty cool. And he's all like, I'll work on it tomorrow. I'm going to go get some shut-eye. And I like this character a lot. He makes me smile also. So then they're sitting at the Green Lantern, and he's trying to get into it, but it blasts, whatever, the wrench away. And he's all like, it's got to be tied to your emotions. So he's like, so whatever you think of, it'll create. So she starts to create this car, and it's the toy car because later on it says Todd on the bottom of it. And that's what happened with earlier when she looked at the car, it said Todd on the bottom of it. So we go back to summer school, and these two are having lunch, and she's all like, she made pancakes, and she's just so perfect and everything, whining about stuff. This is the thing. I'm complaining about it. But this soap opera-y nonsense is like, I'm just like, I just love it so much. Complain about your problems and everything. And but at the same time, I'm like, oh, nobody cares about your problems and everything. So then she eats the pancakes. She's like, these are really good. And she's like, they are really good. So we go back to Cindy's house, and her mom's cleaned up this glass. But because she got touched by the Eclipso diamond, she starts hearing Eclipso. And he's like, you will never be able to be free while she is alive and everything. So we go back to the woods, or back to the road where what's this guy's drive? This is the Shade. He pulls up to the American Project or whatever it's called. And he comes in, and he gives him her card, and he sits down, and he basically just says that he wants the wizard's wand because he's like, I collect magic tricks and shit. And he's like, I want the wand. And she's all like, well, I will see if the American hybrid, whatever this is called, I don't remember what it's called, if they're willing to sell it, and then I'll get a hold of you. And he's like, can you tell me where there's a nice cup of tea? And she tells him like Ricky's or whatever, the diner. And I'm all like, they're not going to have a good cup of tea. They're going to have like Earl Grey and everything, or anyways. So, or Twining's breakfast and shit. So then back at the thing, she's making the toy car again. And everybody's like, that's so cool and everything. And then they come in, and Stargirl's all like, oh yeah, it's pretty cool, but we don't know you. And Yolanda, she's like, you're Yolanda. She's like, should I call you Yolanda or should I call you Wildcat? You really live up to the name. You're so great. And I'm all like, yo, you're laying it on pretty thick, Jenny. Why don't you calm it down, honey bun? But Stargirl's not feeling it. And she's all like, she broke into our house. How do we know we can trust her? And Jenny runs out, and they all run after her. And Rick, this kid's a idiot, and he's all like, that was not cool. No, it is cool. Okay. And I'm going to stand up for her right now. Ginny broke in. Hold on, I gotta get a good screenshot. Yeah, Ginny broke into their house. Okay, if somebody broke into my house, I don't care if she's all like, I didn't know who stole, because that's what she was like. I didn't know who stole my dad's lantern. Listen, hooker face, you don't know if somebody stole your dad's lantern, for one. Two, you don't know whose house this is. And three, it's called breaking and entering. You broke into their house. You are not a good person. I don't care how many pancakes you make. So check yourself, sweetheart, before you start thinking you're all perfect. And they're all on Jenny's side, which I'm like, ugh, lame. Typical Green Lantern. Anyways, so she's sitting here, she's seeing the voices, she's looking in the knife, and she sees her old life, which looked pretty good. She's happy and everything. And then Eclipso's all like, listen, you're never gonna get out of here unless you kill her. You got to kill Cindy. Kill Cindy. And she's all, oh, I don't want to do it and everything. So then they're sitting there talking, and she's all like, I'm upset with her because she's an actual legacy. Her dad was a Green Lantern. She's a Green Lantern. My dad was not Star-Lord, but I'm Stargirl. And it bothers her because then she's like, maybe I was thinking like, I'm not good enough and everything. It was all her shortcomings. So she goes down and she apologizes. She's like, listen, you're perfect. You have everything. And then she's all like, sitting there, and she's like, I don't have everything. I had a stupid lamp and everything. She knocks the lamp over and it goes all crazy, goes all haywire. So then Pat, he goes to this diner because he gets a call from his wife. Sorry, I forgot to mention that. And she's all like, we've got one. He's all like, I'm pretty sure it's disgusting. And so he bumps into him and he's like, hey, I don't know you and everything. He's all like, yeah, I'm in town for a hot minute. He's like, go ahead, sit down. And he's like, thank you. And he's like, what was your name and everything? And he tells him, I don't remember, doesn't even matter. And then he sees the kid running by and he's like, I forgot I was double parked. So stupid. You could just be all like, hey, I just saw my kid running down the street. Something's going on. I need to see what they're doing. Because anybody would understand that. So then they're in the park out in the wide open. Good job, guys. Because they're like, we need to get away from people. I'm like, in the middle of the town? Okay. So then he comes, he's like, the lamp is tied to your emotions. You're the lamp. You're the battery or whatnot. You need to suck in all that power, that green energy and everything. So she does it. She sucks it in and everything. And she's all like, yay. And then she's like, oh, crap. And then it explodes. Knocks everybody back, knocks a shockwave through the town that they're in the middle of, that they were trying to get away from people. I'm all like, you guys, this is not away from people. Out in a field in the middle of nowhere, that's away from people. Okay. Anyways, so they get knocked down and they look and they see a hole. And this girl, I don't like this character, Dr. Mid-Nite character, Bethany. I don't like her. She's annoys the crap out of me, but whatever. She's all like, she sacrificed herself to save us. No, she didn't. Like, she caused the mess. That's like me pushing you off a building, running down to the bottom building, catching you and saying, I saved your life. Get out of here with that nonsense. Stop saying that crap. So she's all floaty because she can fly now. And she's like, you guys, I guess I can fly now and everything. Very cool. This is very cool. We'll talk about it in just a sec. Very cool. I liked this. I'm going to use this as my thumbnail. So she's all fly. Then the next day she wakes up and she's all like, where's Jenny? And she's like, mom's all like, she's left. She left in the middle of the night. And I know why she left, because they can't afford to keep up this green energy with visual effects the whole season. Okay. You've got this girl flying on a staff with a glowy staff. You've got, I mean, Wildcat, the other ones you can kind of like, fake it kind of thing. But with her and the other girl, Green Lantern, you're going to have some pretty crazy special effects. It's going to be like pretty crazy. So then she goes down to the basement to Pat, and Pat's opening up the shade file. She comes down there and she's like, listen, from now on, I'm going to be myself first. I'm going to go to school. And then Stargirl takes a backseat to everything. And he's all like, well, there's a bad guy in Blue Valley. And she's all like, yeah, I'm going to go get my stuff. And she gets out with everything. Then back at Cindy's house, she walks in. She's like, Mom, make me something to eat. I'm hungry. And I'm all like, ugh, you can make yourself some food. Okay. I don't even cook and I can make myself something to eat. And she's standing there. She's like, I'm right here, honey, with something behind my back. You can totally tell I have something behind my back. It's probably a sharp object to stab you with. So they start fighting and she knocks her to the ground because she pulls out these like things from her thing. I was like, oh, that's cool. I don't remember that from the first season. It was probably in there. I just don't remember it. And so then she's like, don't go after that knife, honey bunny. And she goes after it. And then Eclipso like takes her over, like demon possesses her all exorcist like. And she goes all like half purple face. This is totally comic book accurate. Eclipso does this to people when he takes them over, when they give in to their deepest bad desires. I can't remember off the top of my head. Eclipso, I'm not an expert on Eclipso. I know very little much about him. I have like a couple of comic books and everything with him in it. I mean, maybe I have more that I haven't read yet. I have a handful that I haven't read. Anyway, so she gets all happy and she sucks this lady into the diamond, kills her. That's the character that they killed. That it was like a big deal to Cindy. And then I like that she like licks her lips. She's like, so delicious, ashes. Anyways, and then she goes all crazy, and Cindy comes back, and she's all like, "My body, my choice. I didn't need your help. Do not take me over again, punk." And then she says something at the end that I think she said I didn't want her to die or something like that. I can't remember, but and he's all like, "You're in control. It won't happen again." And I'm all like, "Yes, it will. It's totally going to happen again because it's a show. Come on. You're going to be the big baddie at the end. Let's be honest about this, hun." So that was the episode broken down and my thoughts on it. And like I said, I really liked this episode. I thought it was very good. There's just a couple of things that I don't like. I didn't like that everybody was against Stargirl, saying she was wrong, questioning the Jenny girl. I'm sorry. If some rando shows up in your house stealing stuff that is, theirs, you totally question that person all day, every day. And, and it really sucks that her family and her friends, her teammates, were not on her side in this case. They automatically took the stranger side, which I go, where's your loyalty to me, bitch face? So yeah, the episode was very good. I can't wait for next week episode. I love this show. It's really good so far. They're spending the money that they need to on the special effects. They're doing it right. I think the writing so far is good. The writing in the first season was good. I can't wait to see what the bad guys like end game is. Mostly what the shade is. Eclipso, he just wants to take over the world. He like corrupts people and he just like takes over and stuff. But it'll be interesting to see what the shade wants to do. That's the one that I want to know what he's up to, because it won't be what Eclipso wants and everything. All right, so tell me what you guys thought about this episode. Did you like this episode? Did you not like this episode? Who's your favorite team on the new JSA 2.0? Who's your least favorite character? Are you excited to see what happens? What do you think is going to happen? Leave all your comments in that section down below. If you like this video, go and hit that like button. I won't mind. If you're new to my channel, please hit that subscribe button. I'd greatly appreciate it. And I will see you guys next week on my Stargirl breakdown and review. You guys have a good week. Bye.